Peace and blessings, y'all. Welcome to my plant care tips video. If you haven't been watching my videos and vlogs, then you may or may not know that I am a plant mom. So this video is dedicated to my new plant moms and plant dads. I am going to share with you my top 3 recommendations of the type of plants that you should get if you are just starting off. And I'm also going to throw in some tips and things that I do for you. So if you are looking for that, stay tuned. Alrighty, y'all, so I'm so excited and I hope that you are too. Let's start off with Pathos, okay? So Pathos is my #1 recommendation. I have 3 different types of Pathos plants here for you. The first one that we're going to talk about are my satin Pathos. Satin silver Pathos. You'll hear them being called both, but I like to call them satin because when you feel these babies, they feel like satin. They truly do. The leaves are just so nice, but you will see that there are some silver specks, which makes it very, very, very beautiful. Look at that, y'all. It's such a beautiful plant. It's so beautiful and it's so easy to take care of. So the little pieces you see here, you may or may not know I'm also a cat mom, okay? I have 2 cats, Fulani and Swahili, and in the past they have gotten a hold to this plant, especially Swahili. She's my little plant eater who I always have to get away from the plants. So those are like little teeth marks and things of that nature. So if you experience anything like this, or if your plant gets brown spots, that's where something like this comes in handy. These are plant shears, and I got these from the dollar store, y'all. Dollar Tree, $1 and maybe 7 or 8 cents. Super duper cheap, very, very helpful. So you can just clip little areas like that off to make your plant look more beautiful if it bothers you. But I kind of just leave it like that because it's only really, really small areas. But that is a satin Pathos. Now, when caring for these, I believe it's important to definitely have them in an area where the temperature is not too hot and not too cold. So on average in our home, it stays anywhere between 75 and 80 now that it's kind of cold outside. But if it's not cold, usually 75, 77. So all of the plants that you see here are used to that type of temperature. Some plants cannot survive in super duper hot temperatures or super duper cold temperatures. So before you buy, make sure you do a little bit of research and that you are sure that the plants that you are buying to bring into your home can survive the average temperature of your home. All right, second type of Pathos that I recommend are these beautiful babies right here. And these are my Marble Queen Pathos. I mean, isn't the name so fitting? Queen. Look how beautiful they are. My goodness. And so I usually keep these 2 in the window. So I don't know if you can tell, but when they face towards the window, of course, they are more attracted to the sun. So they kind of blossom out this way. And if I turn them this way, they're a bit flat on the back. So what I'm going to do, even now after this video, is time for me to rotate them, right? So that this back part gets an equal amount of sun. But just look how beautiful they are, y'all. Oh, look at those leaves. Look. And these require very, very minimal care as well. A little bit of sunlight. As you can see, they survive in the window, and I water them ever so often. We'll talk about when to water in just a moment, but I just wanted to show you how beautiful these are. Super duper pretty. And the final type of pothos that I want to show you is a golden pothos. Now this one here is still in a pot that I need to spray paint completely white. If you can tell, I have a theme going on here. This goes along with an aesthetic that I really, really love, which is greenery on white pots. So some of these I spray painted, like this basket here I spray painted. This here came white, but this is also a basket and I bought it with the bottom spray painted white. So I just absolutely love to see my plants in a white base. So I bought this one because it's mainly white, and I'll probably just grab some spray paint and go over this blue part here so that it matches everything else. But this is my golden pothos. Y'all, look at this. I actually have, I want to say 1, 2, 3. I think I have 3 of these. Yeah, but I didn't want to just pull everything. No, 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 4, 3 or 4. But y'all, look how beautiful this is. Look at my baby. And I keep her on top of the refrigerator. I have her in this little clear container here so that when I water it, the excess goes down to the bottom. But just absolutely beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And she has some new growth in here. Look how shiny that is. And you'll notice if you're just now getting into plants, or if you've seen plants, some people do shine up their plants. You can use coconut oil. There's things you can spray on them to make them look more beautiful and more shiny. I don't usually do that, and I didn't do that for this video. I'm just showing you exactly how they look in real life. So that's our golden pothos right there. Pretty mama, pretty mama. Okay, so as for pothos, you want to water them mainly when they need water. That's what I do. One thing that you can do to remember, if you're going off of, hey, I want to water my plant every 2 weeks or what have you, then you can actually use some popsicle sticks. I have a bag of popsicle sticks right here and a marker. And you can simply write the date of the last time you watered your plant, and you would take this popsicle stick and you insert it this way, down off into the plant, taking very good care not to hurt the plant. And that way, when it's time to water and you forget, oh, I don't know the last time I watered, just look and check your popsicle stick. It works, okay? But usually I don't use popsicle sticks. What I usually do is just look at the soil, okay? I may actually put my finger into the soil up to about my first line right here. And if that soil is damp, which this is, it's perfectly fine. It does not need water right now. But if the soil is all dry and crumbly, you can barely get your finger in there, it definitely needs water. It probably needs to be soaked. You put it in a bathtub and just let water completely soak it, and then let it dry out on its own, so that way it doesn't die. But these babies are doing pretty good. They have enough water. So I usually use that method because it's very, very easy. I don't have to be bothered with the popsicle sticks and things like that. But even the popsicle stick method is super duper easy. You just have to remember to have popsicle sticks, write it on there, and put it in there when you water the plant. All right, plant type number 2. Ooh, which one do you think? Which one do you think? Which one do you think? We are going to talk about snake plants, y'all. Oh my goodness. Look at these babies. I love them. I love them. When I discovered that there was a type of plant that grows upward and that looks like this, I was like, yes, yes. It's just so unique and so different. You will also hear people call these Sansevieria or mother-in-law's tongue. I don't really like the name mother-in-law's tongue. I feel like it has a negative connotation to it. So I usually just call them snake plants. And this here is a Laurenti, or a variegated snake plant. As you can see, its leaves change color. So that's why we call this variegated. And this is fairly new here. And I think we have a little baby coming right there. Beautiful, beautiful. Both of these are the same type. . Love, love, love these. And these are called black and gold snake plants, or black and gold sansevieria. These need some water. So as you can see, very, very similar to its sisters over there, but of course it is not variegated. Now these leaves actually need cleaning. Okay. When you're looking to see if a plant needs to be watered or not, this one here is a perfect example. You can actually see that the soil is very, very dry. And if I touch it, it's very, very difficult for me to get my finger in there. And it's very, very crumbly. However, this is not terrible. Why? Because it's a snake plant. That's why I'm recommending this plant for new plant moms and new plant dads, because I have had snake plants survive me being a bad plant mom. Seriously, they are so difficult to die. I mean, seriously, you have to purposefully want these plants to die for them to die. That doesn't mean that I want you going out there buying snake plants and just neglecting them, right? Just to see what'll happen. But they are really, really tough. They are really, really tough and very, very resilient. Even with the soil looking like this, you can see here that we have some new babies coming in. Look at that. Very, very beautiful plants, very, very tough. So I'm definitely going to be watering these. Now in here, let me show you. This outside is just a decorative pot. In here is this pot, and in here I have some little saucers. There's two, just to give it enough height so that the plant looks like this. Sometimes you may have to get a bit creative to have your plants presented in the way that you want them to be presented, because you may not always find the exact type of pot that you want at the exact time that you want it. So this is something that I did quite a while back, and I just left it that way because I love the way that looks. Love, 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 love it. All right. And number 3, which one do you think? Which one do you think? Voila! My bamboo babies that do not live in dirt. They live in rocks and water. And I have 2 of them. They're kind of heavy because of the rocks and water, so I'm not going to hold them up for too long, but I do want you to get a nice look at my babies. These are bamboo plants. Bamboo. Look at that. And check this out. It's so cool. If you can see the bottom, you can start to see the roots there. So cool. So cool. No dirt needed. And I've had these, how long have I had these? Definitely over a year. And since I first got them, they've always been in rocks and water. And these 2 live in our bathroom. So they don't need a lot of light. They don't need a lot of attention. Any little pieces you see, again, I'm a cat mom. In the past, they have gotten a hold to these as well. Those are teeth marks. So yeah. But other than that, I love these. The only thing is that they do tend to attract at least one of my cats quite often. She tries to jump up on the counter to get to those, but we do our best to keep her down. All right, so with the bamboo plants, like I said, those they're number 3 on the list, but I really, really recommend those for new plant moms and new plant dads if you don't want to be bothered with dealing with soil and having to repot and things like that. Still with that, you may have to repot and possibly get a bigger container if needed, but you don't have to worry about the dirt. aspect of it, right? Just rocks and water. And for the rocks, I actually got those from the dollar store. The container I got from the dollar store. And the plants, let's talk about where we can get plants from, okay? I've bought my plants, especially these bamboo and the Sansevieria or the snake plants. I have gotten those from Asian food supermarkets. You will be quite surprised if you have an Asian food supermarket in your area. Just go there and just ask if they have a section of plants. A lot of times they do, even if it's small, but the prices in my experience are usually very, very affordable, and the plants are good quality. Another great place is Walmart and or Lowe's. You usually will find those right together. But they always have a plant section. Home Depot is also a very good option. And of course, online. On Facebook, I am in a few plant groups and some where they exchange and or sell plants, and you pay for your plant, you pay for your shipping, and they send it to you. So if you're interested in Facebook plant groups, I will list at least 3 right in the description box of this video, so be sure to check that out. They usually have tons of pictures, tons of tips, lots of people that have been plant moms and plant dads for a very long time that can help out any newcomers. Another place that I want to suggest, but definitely with caution, is Craigslist. I don't really hear about Craigslist so much nowadays, especially since they started to charge, I think, a $5 fee per listing versus it being free in the past. So Craigslist is definitely an option. Like I said, with caution, be very, very careful, and make sure if you do meet up with someone, it's in a public place and that you bring 2, 3, or 55 people with you just to be safe. But I have had success at least twice on Craigslist, scoring really, really nice, beautiful plants for very, very affordable prices. And of course, there's always Amazon for those of you that are like me, that like Amazon and run to Amazon a lot. Amazon does have plants. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, so just to go over the few tips that I've shared and to add a few more, quick recap here. You do want to make sure that whatever plants you decide on purchasing, that they will fit in with the average temperature of your home. If you usually keep it hot, if you usually keep it cold, just make sure your incoming plant babies will be comfortable with that. Make sure you research them before you buy them, unless of course you're like me and sometimes you're just in a store and you just see a beautiful plant and maybe you see the name of it, maybe you don't, but its beauty just makes you unable to pass it up, so you grab it and then later on you figure out how to take care of it. That is perfectly fine, very, very fun. But if you are going to do a little bit of research before you buy, I think that is awesome as well. That way you can get a feel for your incoming plant baby's needs and make sure that you can meet those needs as far as how often it needs to be watered, if it's better in an east-facing window or a west-facing window, if it needs a lot of sunlight, if it can survive in the bathroom, if it can survive in the closet. Most may not be able to survive in the closet, but some are able to survive in very, very low light. So I would suggest thinking about where in your home you want to place your plants, and then researching and figuring out which plants would be best in those areas. As I mentioned to you, my bamboo babies do live in the bathroom, and some sunlight gets in there, but there's not an actual window in the bathroom, so they don't get a lot of sunlight, and they do very, very well in low sunlight. As you saw here, the Marble Queen Pathos, they are usually always right there in that window, and these blinds are usually always open in the daytime, and they do very, very well with that. Now, as far as my satin Pathos and golden Pathos, these are in the kitchen and living room / dining area, and they get quite a bit of sunlight because we have a lot of windows here and they give off a lot of light, and they do very well. One plant that I actually didn't show you here is a peace lily plant, or so I've been told. This one I'm honestly not 100% sure about because I've had a peace lily plant before, but I was told by someone who knows quite a bit about plants that this is also a peace lily. So maybe it just needs to be repotted, it needs a bigger home, I'm not sure, but it looks a little bit different leaf-wise than the peace lily that I have been used to in the past. But this one here is also in the dining / kitchen area, and it gets quite a bit of sunlight, and it does very, very well. So we're just gonna go with this being a peace lily. If I find any different, I will make the correction in the description box of this video. But so far, I'm about 70% sure that it's a peace lily. And the final tip that I have for you is to also not be afraid to experiment with different types of water, right? So you would think, oh, I'm just gonna put tap water in it, and that may work for a lot of your plants. But some plants, especially if you start off with some that are not mentioned in this video, that may or may not be a little bit more difficult or require more to take care of, you want to look into the best type of water for that plant. Some will be better off with distilled water rather than your tap water. So like I said, just do a little bit of research, because I don't want you to buy your plant babies and you're all excited and within a week or 2 weeks they die, right? So definitely look into the plant groups that I'm going to post in the description box for you. I can only give you the bits and pieces that I know, but if you're in a group with a ton of like-minded people that love plants like we do, then you can get a lot more information. So check those out if you are on Facebook. If you are not on Facebook and you want information, Pinterest is also an excellent place. Oh my gosh, who else is addicted to Pinterest? Hello, okay? So Pinterest is an awesome resource if you want to look at plants. If you're not sure what type of plant you may already have, you can go on Pinterest and type in a query, and trust me, you're gonna get an overwhelming amount of plant information. So ladies and gentlemen, I definitely hope that this video was helpful for you, that you picked up at least one helpful tip or gem. If you have any questions, definitely comment down below and I will do my best to answer them for you and or direct you to a resource where you can get the information that you need. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for watching. Peace, blessings, love, and light. God be with you. Bye.